Why Trump's AI meme strategy terrifies his critics and energizes his base. Trump is operating in a completely different political era. Donald Trump's repeated use of AI-generated memes, surreal internet humor, memes, irony, AI-generated imagery, short-form emotional content, and algorithm-driven outrage already dominates modern political discourse. Edited videos and provocative visual posts continue to generate outrage online. Critics argue the posts are inflammatory, unserious, narcissistic, or culturally reckless. Supporters argue the reaction proves something else entirely. Trump understands modern internet culture better than most career politicians ever will. That divide matters because Trump is not behaving like a traditional president. He has never attempted to operate within the old framework of carefully stage-managed presidential messaging. While previous administrations obsessed over scripted optics, carefully filtered press interactions, and controlled public language, Trump built his political identity around disruption, emotional immediacy, and constant visibility. That difference explains why his AI-generated posts create such strong reactions. Many critics continue analyzing Trump as though he was supposed to behave like a conventional Republican president from the 1990s or early 2000s. But Trump's political model is closer to a permanent internet-age branding machine, aggressive, reactive, emotional, meme-aware, and designed for maximum attention. The internet rewards engagement, not restraint. Trump understands that, instinctively, the criticism often ignores how modern internet culture actually works. Much of the backlash surrounding Trump's AI content focuses on tone. Critics say presidential communication should feel serious, restrained, institutional, and dignified. But that argument increasingly collides with the reality of how online ecosystems function in 2026. Memes, irony, AI-generated imagery, short-form emotional content, and algorithm-driven outrage already dominate modern political discourse. Trump did not create that environment. He simply adapted to it faster than many traditional politicians. Several recent posts triggered particularly intense backlash, including AI-generated imagery portraying Trump in symbolic or exaggerated ways, alongside provocative meme-style videos shared through Truth Social and allied accounts. Some criticism has been fair. Certain posts have clearly crossed into territory many religious conservatives and moderates found uncomfortable or excessive, particularly imagery appearing to depict Trump in Christ-like form. Even some supporters viewed that content as unnecessary or politically self-destructive. But the broader reaction often becomes selective. Modern politics across the spectrum already uses meme warfare, emotionally manipulative visuals, and AI-generated propaganda techniques. The difference is that Trump does it openly and personally, rather than through detached campaign branding. That visibility makes him an easier target. Trump gets judged by standards many rivals no longer follow. One reason Trump continues attracting accusations of dangerous rhetoric or unpresidential behavior is because critics often compare him against idealized standards that largely disappeared years ago. Past presidents benefited from a media ecosystem that protected institutional mystique. Public appearances were filtered, mistakes were softened, messaging moved slowly. Presidents usually did not interact directly with internet culture because it was still developing. Trump shattered that separation completely. He posts impulsively. He bypasses institutional gatekeepers. He responds emotionally. He embraces meme culture instead of pretending to stand above it. That makes him appear chaotic to opponents, but authentic to many supporters. His defenders argue that his behavior creates unfair double standards. Other political figures use emotionally manipulative imagery, aggressive online messaging, celebrity branding, and AI-enhanced content too. Yet Trump's actions receive dramatically higher scrutiny, because he remains one of the most polarizing individuals in modern Western politics. For supporters, the outrage itself has become part of Trump's political strength. Every backlash cycle reinforces the image that he is fighting entrenched media, cultural, and political institutions simultaneously. That perception matters enormously to his base, the bigger difference between Trump and past presidents. Trump's supporters often point to several major differences between him and previous American presidents. First, Trump communicates directly and constantly. Past presidents typically relied heavily on spokespersons, formal press conferences, or carefully filtered interviews. Trump instead treats politics more like continuous public combat. Second, Trump embraces confrontation rather than institutional calm. Previous presidents often attempted to preserve bipartisan or diplomatic language even during major disputes. Trump instead weaponizes conflict itself as a political tool. Third, Trump understands modern attention economics exceptionally well. In internet politics, visibility often matters more than traditional approval ratings. Trump dominates conversation cycles in ways many conventional politicians cannot replicate. Fourth, Trump operates less like a politician and more like a cultural figure. His supporters do not simply consume policy positions. They consume symbolism, attitude, emotional energy, humor, identity, and resistance to establishment norms. That distinction explains why meme culture fits naturally into Trump's political ecosystem. His critics often interpret the AI posts literally. Many supporters interpret them symbolically or theatrically. Those are entirely different psychological frameworks. The AI panic may actually strengthen Trump politically. Ironically, intense reactions to Trump's AI-generated content may strengthen him more than weaken him. Every outrage cycle reinforces his core narrative that establishment institutions, commentators, and cultural elites are obsessed with controlling acceptable speech, humor, and symbolism. For supporters already distrustful of mainstream institutions, heavy criticism can appear hysterical or selective rather than persuasive. There is also a broader technological shift happening underneath the surface. AI-generated media is becoming impossible to fully contain. Political communication is entering a new era where visual propaganda, synthetic imagery, hyper-personalized messaging, and meme warfare will become increasingly normal across all ideological groups. Trump is not creating that future alone. He is simply one of the first major political figures fully embracing it publicly. That is partly why reactions remain so emotionally charged. Many people are not just reacting to Trump himself. They are reacting to the collapse of older political communication norms. The internet presidency is evolving into something far stranger, faster, and more emotionally unstable than the television presidency ever was. The real question is whether the old political rules still matter. The deeper issue underneath the Trump AI meme backlash is not whether individual posts are offensive, bizarre, absurd, or reckless. The more profound issue is whether traditional political expectations still function at all inside algorithm-driven internet culture. Trump's critics often assume public dignity and institutional restraint remain politically dominant values. Trump's success repeatedly suggests something else. Emotional connection, disruption, authenticity, entertainment, and tribal identity may now matter more than polished presidential image management. That does not mean every Trump AI post is wise. Some clearly alienate moderates or create avoidable controversy. But treating every provocative meme or AI-generated image as uniquely catastrophic may misunderstand the broader transformation already happening across global politics. Politics increasingly behaves like online culture because online culture increasingly shapes how people emotionally process reality itself. Trump recognized that years before most politicians did, and whether people admire him or despise him, that difference remains one of the central reasons he continues dominating modern political conversation.